In Cloud9 it was only 60,000 rupees. Today, you would be knowing what is the cost there. I mean, they will definitely they will urge you to go for C-section only, no normal delivery. So this is the kind of place, or this is where we are living. And as I said earlier, with all those things, when we thought 2 lakh rupee or 3 lakh rupee was decent enough or sufficient enough, from there the medical expenses have grown up so much. So we all need to have a decent coverage. Otherwise, we will end up in paying money from our pocket. The whole idea of having a health insurance, in case of any eventuality, in case of any health issues, any serious health issues, in case of any critical issues, it should not pinch your pocket. Whatever be your hard-earned money, that should not go away from your side because of some unforeseen event, because of some unforeseen critical event you or your beloved ones they are falling into. Now again, this particular slide, it shows the kind of the hospitals, they have increased their tariff rate. In south it is relatively okay. This, I mean, when I am saying you, there's a 12 to 13% hike it is showing. But if you look at in Maharashtra, Delhi, or in the west zone, again, as I said, it is not a top class hospitals there. So if you look at Mumbai, we have taken the Pune ka the Aditya Birla Hospital we have taken. Definitely not Breach Candy or our nearby Ambani Hospital we haven't considered. There it is again much on the higher side. So this is the circumstances where everybody need to have very decent coverage. And again, let me tell you, this corona, we got a bill of 28 lakh rupees. In a family there were 4 people and all got affected, and they have to put in the hospital. And in a corona there is no medicine, only thing is monitoring, only quarantine. And for that the kind of treatment, it is not for the treatment the cost, it is for the the precautionary measures what they are taking not to infect the other people, for to stop the contagious process. The kind of precautionary measures, the kind of the mask, cloth, all the things what this companies or the hospitals what they are using. So for that it is costing a bomb actually. So when somebody is getting admitted or somebody is having a issue, there can be 2 types of cost. One is direct cost, that is going to the hospital, I mean the medical expenses basically. Then there is something called indirect cost. You will lose your income probably, depletion of your savings can happen, and even after you have recovered, there will be a lot of time and cost for the rehabilitation. Probably you would be doing a lot of physiotherapy, any accidental cases or any neuro issues. To come back to a normal stage, it will take years together basically. And again for that there is a lot of long term care cost. Probably you need a permanent attender with you, and already you have some kind of running EMIs or some kind of SIPs or some running cost. All the things will be there. This particular expense is going to be over and above that particular thing. So as a probably as a breadwinner or a single breadwinner for the family, having a loan, then 2 kids are studying, having a home loan, having a vehicle loan, personal loan, a child fee, everything it's on my head. And along with that, to add on that particular thing, there is going to be the medical cost also. So this is the situation. At least don't think the health insurance premium what you are paying, it is a cost. Please think it is one of the very very necessary product which you need to have in your portfolio. After your roti kapda makan, the second one has to be a good health insurance plan. Because after 3, these are the basic needs of any human being. Post that, we need to have a good health insurance plan. Health is wealth. If we have health, though we don't have money currently, we can make it. So, and again, as I said, please think this is the situation and the medical cost of each and every disease, or for a critical illness or something happens, this is what is going to happen to us. So please take a good health insurance plan. We need to have, irrespective of your age or irrespective of your financial position, this particular one product, that is very, very key, very, very important point. Now let me tell you one more thing. The second point what we were there in the agenda, when you have a you would be thinking a corporate, I am working for a corporate, I will be working till 55-60 years of age, probably I don't require it because my company, my corporate is covering. See, let me tell you one more thing. It is good to have corporate coverage and it is mandatory these days. From the employer, you need to have a coverage. But remember one thing, the employer, the corporate coverage will, the company will cover you as long as you work for the company. The moment when you come out of your corporate life, then the coverage, the coverage cease to exist there. The coverage stop to exist there. Now again, please understand, these days nobody is sticking to their job for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years kind of thing, like what our parents used to do. Every 2 year, 3 year, or till at the age of 40, 45, probably they will keep on switching their job. So there can be, there's a transition between the transition of your job, or there are situations, there are chances, there is a loss of job. So you need to have a coverage during that period, and we cannot tell the disease or to the thing, okay, now I am jobless, now I am going to the another company after a week, so you come and attack me only after 1 month or 2 months. We can't say that. So during this particular period also, definitely we need to have a coverage. So corporate will not cover you at that time. And again, let me tell you one more thing, the corporate coverage, every year the terms and conditions are getting changed. So let me just explain this particular thing with my own example. When I joined my first company, so they were telling, you, spouse and the kids and parents put together, you have a 10 lakh rupee coverage. After some time, they came back and said, still you, spouse and kids and parents, you will have the same coverage of 10 lakh rupee, but parents, we can cover only up to 5 lakh rupee. This particular thing happened after 2 years of getting me this particular coverage. After 2 years again, the same company came back and told me, you will have the coverage of this 10 lakh rupee, you, spouse and kids. Already parents also, I used to get the 10 lakh rupee coverage. Now it has become 5 lakh rupee. Again, after some time, they told me, my parents' coverage is concerned, for getting a coverage, for the parents, there is a co-payment of 20%. It means, if there is a claim of 1 lakh rupee happens to my parents, I will get only 80%. 20% I should pay from my pocket. Again, after 2 years, the same company, they told me, for the parents are concerned, even if you wanted to get that 80% coverage, you need to pay a fixed amount of money every year. I am very sure, whoever be the participants in this particular thing, you would have seen lot of changes in your corporate health insurance. Because any company, any corporate the corporate health insurance, it is actually a bleeding portfolio. When a company is paying an insurance company, say for example, 10 lakh rupee, it is almost certain that the claim will be 12 lakh rupee. Now, there is no fixed rule or any pricing strategy for this group insurance is concerned. You paid 10 lakh rupee last year, this year bill has come, total claim has come 12 lakh rupee. This year, your company your corporate the premium will be 12 lakh rupee. It is directly proportional or equal to the claim what you are making, that is the premium for the next year. So when the claim is going up like this, insurance companies or your corporate, they will not be in a position to bear the entire amount from their side. So they are asking you, okay, you also bear the cost. That is the reason they are asking you, okay, for the parents are concerned. Again, they are restricting to the extent of 75% or 80%. Otherwise, it is not viable. Second thing, as I said, for the entire cost is concerned, that your corporate may not agree to pay. Still, you wanted to cover your parents. So they will ask you, if that is the case, you give me a portion of the premium. At least for the parents you give. That is the reason, this co-payment concept came into most of the corporates these days. Corporate will cover only self, spouse and kids. If you wanted to cover your parents, you need to pay additional money. And it is running. Earlier, it was not in that way. Let me tell you one more thing. Now, you would be thinking, for me, my spouse, my 2 kids and parents, it is 4 adult and 2 kids. Maximum 6 people you can cover. Some companies, they will allow even, the parents-in-law also. Now, everybody put together 3 lakh rupee coverage or 5 lakh rupee coverage the corporates will give. Actually, that is what doesn't make any difference in our life. And especially for the parents are concerned, 3 lakh rupee including everybody, that is not sufficient at all. And moreover, you would have seen this particular thing. Today, I have, no health issues. Over a period of time, I love BP, I love sugar, I love some health issues, I love some heart problem, kidney problem, all the, at the time of my retirement, at the age of 50 or 55, my body is full of disease only. Starting from BP to sugar to, you say anything in that matter. At the time of 55 or 56 or before 1 or 2 years before your retirement, if you start searching a good retail health insurance plan outside, it is very difficult to get. So it is very much advisable, though you have a corporate coverage, that corporate coverage you keep it for your parents basically. Because anyway, everybody is put together, it is covered in that. Keep that for your parents. Because if you are trying to buy a retail health policy outside, one, for the parents are concerned, the cost will be very much on the higher side. And for getting a day one coverage for parents, it is highly impossible. So you cover them and keep your corporate plan for your parents. And you are young at age, and keep, buy a separate retail health insurance policy and keep it for you. In case of any eventuality, in case of any hospitalization required for you, spouse and kids, please use your retail policy. Because, and separate your health insurance policy from your corporate, use it for your parents. And 2-3 lakh rupees may not be sufficient for everybody put together. Let me tell you one more point.
Sorry to interrupt you. I would like to interrupt at this point of time.
Please.
Because, before all of you think like we are kind of only advertising health insurance, I just wanted to set the context about the space we are operating from. Every single day, I'm attending a lot of HR webinars, and we are hearing news of the Zomatos, the Indiabulls, and so many organizations laying off a lot of people. Just wanted to let you know what is the HR fraternity thinking right now. What is going to be extremely big going forward is something called the gig economy, which means a lot of evidence of full-time employment with all these statutory benefits is actually going to come down a little by little. So what Sino is trying to very beautifully illustrate is why it is a good idea for us to take charge of our own health insurance. Right, Sino?
Yes. Only my limited submission, buy health insurance when you don't require it. When you require, you will not get it. That is the simple funda.
Absolutely.
So I mean, and I am able to see, I am seeing lot of people, they are ready to pay even lakhs of rupees a premium, but they want a coverage. But as an insurance company, we are not able to cover. This is not only for the company what I am working. I am not even mentioning about the company which I am working. It is all generic statement what we are seeing and what you guys are experiencing in the market on daily basis. So though you have a corporate coverage, think like it is very good, but please have a separate standalone retail health insurance policy for your family is concerned. That is highly required. Now the other thing, just thought of having what health insurance actually covers. See, please understand this particular thing. Health insurance, it will cover any reasonable and customary charges for inpatient hospitalization for more than 24 hours or any daycare procedure. Please read the next two lines. Wherever hospitalization is justified. That is the point to be noted. Suppose I bought a health insurance plan. Now I am paying 20,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees. I felt a giddiness or I felt a chakkar, and I told the doctor, you please admit me and do all the tests. And the doctor is start doing all the tests, including CT to echo to ultrasound to PFT to all the blood tests, urine tests, everything they have done. And 2 days I got admitted, and I have done all the tests. All the criteria I fulfill. Okay, I was admitted for more than 24 hours, inpatient hospitalization. There was a reason for me, and I have done all the tests. And doctor told me after the test everything, you are perfectly all right. There is no problem. Insurance companies will not pay, and the bill was around 50,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees. Insurance companies will not pay that particular that diagnostic test what you have done there, because there was no active line of treatment you underwent. You just went there, or only on evaluation purpose. If you got admitted to a hospital, those bills insurance companies may not pay. Or only for diagnostic purpose, if you are doing some test, insurance companies may not pay that cost. Please understand that. After doing all the test, if there is some active line of treatment, if you have done, then we will pay all amount. You would be hearing, okay, I have a coverage of 2 lakh rupee or 3 lakh rupee, but bill was only 60,000 rupees. But insurance companies, they have cheated me. They have given me only 30,000 rupees, or they have given me only 40,000 rupees. Around 20,000 rupees they have deducted, stating non-payable kind of thing. So you must understand. Just a sec, please.
So Sinu, by virtue of being a senior executive, so I think keeps getting a lot of course calls in between. So we can imagine. Yes.
Fine. So the point what I am trying to say, we must understand the kind of plan what we have. Most of the corporates, there is something called a sublimit, and there is a conditions. So if your coverage is 5 lakh rupee and you are eligible to take a room only to the extent of 5,000 rupees per day. Now in the hospital, when the admission happened, the doctor or the hospital people would have said, there is no room available, the 5,000 rupees or less than 5,000 rupees, because everything is full. We have only executive room, or we have only deluxe room kind of thing. There the cost will be, instead of 5,000 rupees, that is what your actual eligibility, but your the cost would be 7,000 rupees or 8,000 rupees. Friends, please understand, when the final bill comes, it is not the room charge alone. There will be a deduction from your final bill. Please understand, all other cost is directly related to the room which you are taking in the hospital. Your doctor consultation, where is the room what you are taking? The same doctor in a ward, he might charge you 200 rupees. The same doctor for the same patient in a private room, the charge will be $1,000. In a deluxe room, the same patient, same doctor, in the deluxe room, the consultation cost will be 1,500 rupees. So there will be a pro rata basis deduction in all the bills, depending upon the room category what you are eligible. Please understand this point. So there will be a changes in your doctor consultation, OT, operation theater charges, nursing charges, all those things are depending upon the room what you are taking in a hospital. Whereas you have a coverage of 5 lakh rupee, and in your corporate they says, okay, your room charge eligibility is 1%, your ICU charges are 2%. Let me tell you, friends, if any hospital, if you go to the ICU, minimum cost will be around 35 to 40,000 rupees. So please understand all those things when you are buying a plan. Be aware of that. What are the exclusions and PED conditions? When I am saying exclusions, when you are buying a retail policy, first 30 days nothing will be covered. First 2 years there is a set of 15-16 conditions that will not be covered. Those conditions are like, I'm just give you some example. Hip or knee replacement surgery. If it is an accident, we will cover. But there is something called the wear and tear can happen, right? Or there's something called bilateral knee replacement because of the age factor, or kidney stone, gallstone, varicose vein surgery, or hysterectomy, prostrate, all those things there is a 2-year waiting period. Other than that, if you have any pre-existing condition, like I have BP, I have sugar, or I have cholesterol, or I had a accident some time back, and still there is a nutter, bolter, plate inside, some kind of prosthetic implant I have done. All those things you must declare at the time of taking the plan, and there will be a waiting period. When I am saying you, okay, suppose I had an accident some 3 years back or 5 years back, still there's a plate inside. That plate I wanted to remove after 2 years or 3 years. If you are not declaring this condition when you are going to the hospital for the removal of this particular prosthetic, it will not be paid. But you declare, company might apply some waiting period depending upon the plan what you have chosen. The waiting period can be 2 years, it can be 3 years, or whatever it is. Once that waiting period is over, though for the removal of this prosthetic, the plan can be used. As I said, you should be aware of your sublimits. So most of the plans, say for example, cataract surgery, they will tell you per eye we will give you only 20,000 rupees. So for the entire policy term is concerned, the total available amount is only 40,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. Please understand this kind of thing. There are companies, there are plans without any sublimit conditions. So you evaluate all those things at the time of the plan. Especially for the health insurance is concerned, don't decide a health plan based on your based on the premium alone. There are a lot of other factors you must consider. So that we will see in the coming slides.
Sure. Sinu, can I just get in one question here?
Please.
So for example, I'm unable to see the name. It just has the mobile model number. It says basically the question is, policies with a higher waiting period are cheaper. Is there any benefit of buying lower waiting period policies?
See, I'll tell you. Let me quote with an example. Say for example, I have BP and sugar. Okay. Now I am buying a plan where 4-year PED, 4-year waiting period. Now there is a lot of connection between BP and sugar. It is a combination. It is a killer combination if you are not taken care of these BP and sugar properly. It can lead to heart problem. It can lead to brain hemorrhage. It can lead to kidney problem. All the things can happen. Now, if you are taking a plan with a 4-year waiting period, and during that 4-year waiting period, if any of these condition happens, like heart problem or brain hemorrhage, or when I am saying brain hemorrhage, brain hemorrhage or kidney problem, then there is a great possibility that doctors or insurance companies, they will say it happened because of your BP and sugar, and this is still under PED of 4 years. So we will not cover till 48 months or 4 years. So if you are taking a plan with a less PED, say for example, there are number of plans available with a 24 months PED or 36 months PED waiting period. So the PED in the sense pre-existing disease waiting period. So if you are buying a plan with a 24 months waiting period, the moment after this 24 months are over, all those conditions which I said, insurance companies, they cannot say no to your claim unless and until it is a non-disclosure. At the time of taking the plan, you disclose that you have BP and sugar, and after 24 months, if something goes wrong, insurance companies, they are bounded to pay the claim, and they will pay also. It is a contract between you and the insurance company. So always better, if you have any PED condition, any pre-existing health issues, take a plan with a less, waiting period. And one more good thing, all insurance companies, they will allow internal portability. So you start with a plan where least waiting period, so that your risk is minimized. Then after 3-4 years continuously covering, and subsequently you can change to other plan where the continuity will be maintained, and you can go for a plan where with a lesser price. So as I said earlier, there are plans 4-year waiting period, their premiums are low. You are taking a 2-year waiting period plan with a higher cost basically, and you are continuing that plan for 4 years, and after that you are moving to a plan where you don't have that, less premium plan. So by that time you would have completed your 4 years, so all those waiting period also would have been over by that time. So you are moving to a plan, you started with a higher premium because of less waiting period. From there you are moving to a plan with a higher waiting period, but it will not have any impact because you already been with the plan for last 4 years. Ram, you are clear what I am saying? Ram, you are clear what I am saying?
Yes. So basically what you are suggesting is that if there are policies with a lower waiting period for PED especially, which is pre-existing,
yes.
better to go with it.
Better to go with it, but those less waiting period plans normally comes with a little premium pricing basically.
Mm-hmm.
So pertaining to, if you look at Max Bupa, in our company itself, we have a 2-year waiting period plan, we have a 3-year waiting period plan, we have even 4-year waiting period plan. So basically 24-month PED waiting period, 36 months waiting period, and 48 months waiting period kind of thing.
Options are there, it only the premium obviously varies depending on what you choose.
Okay, now I request the younger population what we have, please take a plan so that when there is no waiting period or when there is no PED, no waiting periods will be applicable. And any change in the health condition after taking the plan, you don't have to worry, because for covering those kind of things only you are paying the premium. And once insurance company, they have accepted your life, the moment when they start covering your life, after that any change in your health condition, you don't have to worry. That is the risk of the insurance company to cover post that.
Okay, sure.
So
yes.
Are Ayurvedic treatments covered under health insurance policy?
Yes. These days, as I said, no. Earlier, it was only English medications were covered actually under health. Now, this particular sector is getting evolved every day kind of thing. So now, other than your English medication, now the Ayurveda is covered, Siddha is covered, Unani is covered, Homeopathy is covered. But the only thing is it has to be an inpatient treatment. And to some cases, even naturopathic treatments, that is covered. So all those, these days actually health insurance, it covers everything. Because some people, they don't like, the English medication or the allopathic or conservative way of treatment. So they wanted to go for an alternative treatment. Those things also covered. Even insurance companies, we are aware that there is alternate treatments are available, and we will cover that particular thing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sinu will just take one more.
Oh, we are already. Let us go far.
Yeah, let's go fast. In fact, we have few questions which will pick it up. So,
Yes.
Mr. Mohit is asking, what about PED that comes during the course of renewal? Will this be covered, or we need to declare every renewal?
No, that is what exactly I am saying. Insurance companies, they will do the underwriting only at the time of you are buying the health insurance.
Okay.
Once at the time of at the time of buying process, you declare everything, you disclose everything, and take the plan.
Okay.
Once the plan become in force, or once you started the plan, any adverse health condition, after taking the plan, you are 100% you are covered under that particular condition. You don't have to worry about that. If in case of any early claim, only thing what insurance companies can demand or ask, suppose like I have taken the plan today. Today is 23rd of May 2020.
Right.
Unfortunately, June or July, I am diagnosed with cancer or heart attack.
Okay.
Anybody has a doubt, okay, probably like he had the symptoms, so he did not disclose that particular thing. He knew there is going to be a claim, so he has taken the plan, and okay, there is a suspicion in this particular case. Only thing, insurance companies, they can repudiate your claim, they can deny your claim, unless and until insurance companies get something in writing that they have there was some PED and it was known to the customer before taking the plan. If insurance companies get something in writing, 100% the claim will be declined.
Okay.
On the other hand, insurance companies or you, if you can prove the first diagnostic report of my heart problem or my cancer, if it started after a date after taking the plan, then 100% insurance companies, they are bound to pay you the claim. So only thing insurance companies can ask, you show me your first diagnostic report, or there if you can show something like which is a date post taking your plan, nothing to worry, your claim stands valid.
Okay.
That is a point to be noted, even if it is a early claim. And again, let me tell you one more point here to be noted. Most of the customers, they will ask, will you provide cashless? Will you provide cashless? We do provide cashless. When I am saying you, health insurance companies, they will provide cashless. But don't think cashless is a right to me. It is up to the insurance company whether to approve cashless or not. Sometimes very much they can tell you come for reimbursement, or some, as I said earlier, in case of any early claim or some kind of suspicious transaction, or the insurance companies, they feel okay, there is the customer, we are not able to analyze the risk as of now, there is somewhere some missing link, so we need to investigate that particular thing, so we cannot approve as a cashless. You pay the money and come to us for the reimbursement. Insurance company can say that. Okay. When I am saying you insurance company, let it be Max Buba, let it be ICICI Lombard, let it be Apollo, let it be Tata AIG, let it be any company in that matter.
Okay, so basically what you are saying is that cashless is a procedure wherein you don't have to shell anything out of your pocket. Directly the insurance companies reimbursing, not reimbursing, is
to the hospital.
So correct, that you are saying cannot be claimed as a matter of right. It can be, there can be situations wherein the insurance company, depending upon the nature of claim and the amount of claim, may ask you to
come for the reimbursement,
settle the bills yourself. Settle the bills yourself and come back for reimbursement.
Exactly, what you are saying is absolutely right, Ram.
Sure.
And as I said, it is not a matter of right. But we know the field is so competitive. We will try to accommodate the maximum. 95%, 100% we will try to accommodate. But out of 100 claims, there can be 3, 4, 5 claims. We might ask our customers to come for a reimbursement.
Sure.
Okay.
So yes, we'll move on, Sinu. So
Please.
basically, there are a couple of questions. One is on Arogya Sanjeevani, which I think we'll cover in the coming slide.
Yeah, in the coming slides we'll cover
And
that.
just one.
Or do one thing. No, if they are asking, let them ask. No, I can answer now only each and everything if you want.
Sure.
I think the bigger objective is to get their query answered. So some
Yeah.
of them seem to want to know the criteria of health insurance. So you could move to directly there.
Yeah. No, I think so. There is a question which says there are multiple plans in market today. What all should we consider while buying health insurance? And he has a Religare health policy for last 3 years. Base cover is 10 lakhs and his no claim bonus is 12 lakhs. So total cover is 22 lakhs today. So of course, one, he's just informing that he has this policy, but the larger question is that what all I think one should consider really. I mean,
See, I'll tell you. Ask this gentleman whether he has any pre-existing condition. Okay. Now ask how long this policy is running. If the policy is running more than 2 years and there is no PED, almost all the conditions are covered. But again, as I said, we should see what is the room rent capping in this plan. Suppose he got a fever or he is getting admitted to any hospital, and if he is not aware of this particular condition, he might end up in paying money from his pocket.
Okay.
So though what I'm saying, he's having 22 lakh rupee coverage.
Yes.
That's all very good. But in the hospital, the claim would have been only 3 lakh rupee or 4 lakh rupee. But it doesn't mean that entire 4 lakh rupee will be settled from Religare.
Just because it is less than the sum insured doesn't necessarily mean that it will be covered fully.
Yeah, exactly. Because other than this particular, the sum insured, there are other factors to be considered, like the room rent capping.
Right, you said that earlier. Yes.
Suppose that plan permits only entry level private room. Entry level private room in Apollo Hospital, it is 6,000 rupees. Okay. And if anybody goes and asks, they will tell, entry level private room is not available because all occupied. The room is available only executive room or deluxe room. Deluxe room, instead of 6,000 rupees, deluxe room, the cost is 9,000 rupees. So 9,000 rupees, you were there in the hospital for 3 days and the bill has come 60,000 rupees.
Right.
If the same patient in the entry level private room, the bill would have been only 40,000 rupees. Right. So insurance company will settle only 40,000 rupees. Though the bill is 60,000 rupees, which is for a deluxe room.
Okay.
But as per the policy, he is eligible only for the entry level private room.
Okay, so you're saying more than the total sum insured, it is important to see what are the room rent cappings, because based on that, all other things are.
What are the sublimits in that? That is what that also we should see. Say for example, I'll tell you some of the cases the total knee replacement, because after certain age everybody will do that particular knee replacement. Yeah. There are conditions that the total knee replacement is capped at 1.5 lakh rupee. Okay. And if you look at some hospitals like what I was saying, the A-class hospital, none of the hospital will do this knee replacement at the cost of 1.5 lakh rupee. The cost will be 3 lakh rupee, 3.5 lakh rupee. Okay. So though you have a coverage of 22 lakh rupee, for this particular condition, insurance companies, they will pay you only till 1.5 lakh rupee. So that is the reason what I am saying. When you are buying a good health insurance plan, please understand what are the conditions. Is there any co-payment in the plan? Most of the insurance companies, if the age above 60, if somebody is entering, there is a compulsory co-payment. Okay. For a 20, 80 kind of thing. So we should see that particular thing, any co-payment, any sublimit. So, and again, I'll tell you, today, everybody will sell. Basically, my humble submission, you need to have a qualified financial advisor. See, I'll tell you, life insurance we can buy online, because there the claim happens only on 2 scenarios. One on death, second one on maturity. Maturity will happen over a period of 20 years, 25 years, or minimum that is a kind of duration. Death, though we are taking it for death, but the chances are very unlikely. But health insurance is not in that way. It is a living benefit, health insurance. So there can be claim. It require a lot of human intervention required. There is a lot of service issues required. If the participants, if you are not admitted to the hospital, thank God. But once we go to the hospital, then only we will understand the intricacies of that particular thing. I mean, we will think, okay, what time I can come out of this particular thing. Guys, let the premium, you pay, take a good health insurance, and let the premium be wasted. In your lifetime, let you not use that particular thing.
Absolutely.
Thank God that you are fine.
Yes. Nobody wants to use it.
Nobody wanted to use health insurance. But buy one. In case of any eventuality happens, or anyway, out of 100, 6 or 7 only will have the problem. We don't know whether I will be in that, 1 out of that 7% category.
Right.
And do that calculative risk you take. These are the things what you need to notice.
Sinu, can you please tell us who settles the claims faster? I mean, how can we check that while buying a insurance?
Very good question. I'll tell you. At the time of, now if you analyze the products in the market, I mean, but do only apple to apple comparison. Okay, don't compare apple with lemon or apple with orange. Then you tell me, that product is cheaper, this product is cheaper, because it is actually a very complicated subject. In the sense, Max Buba itself, we have around 8-9, indemnity plans we have, starting from lower range to higher range. Similarly, when you are comparing a product of Religare also have 4-5 products. Religare ka low class product, you cannot compare with the Max Buba ka high class product, and don't tell we are cheaper by so and so amount. So within the company itself, we will do the proper comparison. Now coming to your question, at the time of sales, everybody will say I am the best. Max Buba guy will say I am the best. Religare will say they are the best. End of the day, what matters? Who settles your claim promptly and at a higher speed? If you look at, as I said, apple to apple comparison, if you do, there is hardly any difference in the pricing of the products. Of course, there will be 1,000 rupees, 1,200 rupees difference will be there. But before that itself, you see the claim settlement ratio of the companies you see, or who recommend the product to you, whether the advisor what you are interacting, is he knowledgeable? You see that particular thing. Or is he having any hold in the company? If anything goes wrong, whether he has the capacity to speak to a company executive and get my case clear, that you should see. Now the claim settlement ratio, we might, that again, there is a all case to case basis basically. The Max Insurance Company ka claim settlement ratio, Max Buba ka claim settlement ratio will be 95%. It doesn't mean that, okay, your claim will get settled smoothly. Now, during the hospitalization, if company found there is some kind of non-disclosure in your claim, that claim can get stuck. So my submission to have a hassle-free claim settlement, or to have a good, nice experience, because it is only a paper what you are receiving, at the end. It is only a commitment that we will honor the claim. Do proper disclosure and take the plan, so that nothing to worry.
So I have a question here, Sinu. So the thing is, I think to answer this question in another manner, because I think the question was that who settles it fast, and probably how do we really determine which insurance company settles fast? Like you said, to be fair to that question, it's a case-to-case based thinking, because we cannot, though claim settlement ratio indicates a certain level of efficiency in the claim settlement process, but it can still depend on a case-to-case basis, like you said. I think what can probably, like you mentioned, what can probably make the claim settlement smooth is that, first of all, disclosure, because I think that is where most of the claim settlement gets either held up or declined or delayed. So
correct. You are right. You are right.
So that in PED, one question that I always get, when I talk to clients is that, Ram, there might be some medical condition that I may be having which I don't know. What to declare?
No, if that condition is concerned, perfectly all right. The company is there with the customer in their case is concerned. See, in my human body, I don't know what and all happening.
Correct.
What you know. What you do not know, you do not know. That's a simple funda.
Okay.
To cover that particular thing, only people they are taking the insurance.
That's right.
What you know at the time of taking the plan, you declare that.
But that is the question. The question is that
non-disclosure. I'll tell you. Non-disclosure clause will not apply here because in your doctor record, it will be seeing, okay, it is diagnosed at the time of admission. It is diagnosed. When we are getting admitted to the hospital, the first question the treating doctor is asking, do you have any past medical history? So there, knowingly, you will declare, okay, I have a BP for last 2 years, or light cholesterol for last 5 years,
right?
Or like I had an accident some 10 years back and there was a nutter bolt plate inside, or I have a dust allergy.
Whatever is there, you will declare.
He would have exactly at the time of the the initial stage. Now I'll tell you classic example. I'll tell you. You got admitted for a respiratory system problem, or you have a wheezing issue. You got admitted. Treating doctor is asking, do you have any problem? So that he is telling, okay, I have a dust allergy. If dust allergy, that means decline. Because it is a am I audible, please?
Yeah, you just went offline, but you are right.
I got a call, so hello.
You are all right now. Yes.
I'm all right.
Yes.
So wheezing issue or respiratory problem, and I had a dust allergy, we did not disclose this particular thing. All are interconnected. Now company require further investigation, so cashless cannot be approved. Come for the reimbursement. This is how the things will, that is how. So you would be arguing, the customer would be arguing, in Bangalore who will not have dust allergy, point will not be accepted. Or I have a light BP, I have a light sugar. Chalega, everybody have BP and sugar. It is not a disease these days. But I got admitted for a dengue fever. There, the past medical history they are asking. There I am mentioning I am BP, I have BP, I am sugar. So not under medication, all under lifestyle control, I have BP and sugar. So it is an unrelated claim, will not be paid. There is no point in blaming insurance companies. So all those will be considered as a non-disclosure.
Okay. Point taken, Sinu. So we will move on to the another question, portability. So I think this is again one of the topics that I think.
So before portability, I just wanted to have there is a super top-up slide was there.
Yes. We will cover this. Yes.
Let me just give.
Sure.
Guys, I mean, this is one slide which everybody should understand. One is there something called a super top-up. Suppose you are searching a good plan in the market, you are not getting, even if you are getting the cost is around 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees, that is the cost, and that kind of money you feel you don't know how to invest, or you don't want to invest, or you don't have that kind of money, then you can think about the super top-up. Super top-up says, okay, suppose you have a corporate coverage of 3 lakh rupee or 5 lakh rupee. Whatever be the claim, till 5 lakh rupee, you will claim from your corporate plan. Any unforeseen event, God forbidden, if the claim goes beyond 5 lakh rupee, then this super top-up will come into the picture. And again, if you look at the, it's a very, very economical thing. Everybody, my humble submission, everybody should think about this particular super top-up if they are not able to get a separate retail health insurance. And why I am promoting this particular thing, you see the pricing part of this particular thing. And I've just moved this next office. See, in this case, for getting a coverage of 1 crore coverage for a person at the age of 40, 1 crore coverage with a 5 lakh rupee deductible. It is only for 2 people. It is only 5,049 rupees per year.
So, Sinu, you will have to tell us what you mean by deductible.
See, as I said, deductible means first 5 lakh rupee Max Buba. I mean, okay, now I am working for Max Buba. I am just, with an example of my company, I am just quoting this particular thing. Max Buba is offering a super top-up plan of 95 lakh rupee. Assume it's a 90 lakh rupee coverage to a party at a cost of 1,584 rupees with a deductible option of 10 lakh rupee. What Max Buba says, first 10 lakh rupee don't come to Max Buba for a claim. 10 lakh 1 rupee onwards, I will pay your bill.
Okay.
There are two aspects to this particular thing. As I said, some
Sinu,
people, they will have a coverage. Yes.
Sinu, suppose if a person is admitted twice or thrice in a year and total expenses exceeds this whatever the deductible, then
you are absolutely right, sir. It is called annual aggregate. In an year, total bill, if it crosses more than 10 lakh rupee, then you can come to Max Buba for the claim.
And this annual aggregate, you are saying, can include multiple hospitalizations.
Multiple hospitalization, exactly.
Okay.
But only thing is, it is the onus of the customer that he has to prove Max Buba that he exhausted this 10 lakh rupee. So I am coming to Max Buba for the super top up.
Okay.
Now, for claiming the super top up, there are two options. One, either you can have some other company, there you would have settled the claim to the extent of 10 lakh rupee, or you feel any medical expenses to the tune of 10 lakh rupee, I have the capacity to pay from my pocket.
Okay.
And in both the scenario, the customer has to prove that I have exhausted my 10 lakh rupee or 5 lakh rupee or whatever be the deductible what they have taken. That is the basic point. So, suppose 5 lakh rupee ka medical bill they are giving us a proof, or this 5 lakh rupee ka claim settlement with some other insurance company they are giving Max Buba as a proof. If they do so, then 5 lakh 1 rupee onwards, we will start paying the claim. And if you look at that, for a 5 lakh rupee with a 45 lakh rupee deductible, for a 2 people at the age of 42 adult, the premium is only 3,762 rupees, including tax. It is that much cheap. So I am not saying it is cheap. It is very, very economical. And in this kind of situation, everybody need to have a higher coverage. As I said earlier, we all thought 5 lakh rupee will be decent enough, or 2 lakh rupees is decent enough. So there are instances even 50 lakh rupee that is got exhausted.
Okay. Just one question here,
Cost is not on the higher side. I recommend everybody, if you are not able to get a foolproof retail plan, and if you have a corporate coverage, please take at least super top up and ensure that the higher things are protected.
Okay, so
next slide.
Yeah, okay. So just one question before we move is yes, I had something in mind. So to what extent this super top up is available? On the upper side.
Up to 1 CR it's available.
Up to 1 CR. Okay. Cool.
See, if somebody takes a plan, yes.
Hi, Mr. Sinu. This is Umesh from Dubai. I just have a doubt. See, in this case of super top up, do we look for this PED conditions?
Definitely, we will look into PED conditions, sir. We do look into. See, I'll tell you. Otherwise, suppose we know for a cancer case is concerned, for chemotherapy, radiotherapy, everything put together, the bill will come 17 lakh rupee or 18 lakh rupee in a year. Okay. Now you have a base coverage of only 5 lakh rupee. 5 lakh 1 rupee onwards, it is my liability as a company. Correct? No. So definitely, the underwriting will come into the picture, and it is not a coverage without underwriting. It is a coverage with underwriting. And again, it is a lifetime commitment I am entering with you. I mean, it is not that like I'll cover you only 60, 70, 80, nothing, those kind of thing. Now I'll tell you why. There is a one more beauty in super top up. At the time of entry, if your age is less than 45 and on continuous coverage of 5 years, then you have the option to convert the super top up into a base plan of Max Bupa itself. That's a very good option. I mean, I don't know how many of you are able to understand what I am trying to say. So it is basically like you are protecting your future by paying very nominal amount these days. Now after 5 years, whatever be your health condition, as my friend from Dubai was asking, there is no underwriting will come into the picture at that time. Even though you claimed for cancer, even though you claimed for your heart problem, Max Bupa will, and I am not very sure, all the companies will do it or not. I don't know. It is not that I don't know. I don't think all the companies will do. But
Sinu, even for others also, one can take the insurance policy up to 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs from other insurance company, and correct. For top up it can go to Max Bupa or some other insurance.
Yes. It is not that you should take it from Max. See, this is a generic discussion what we are having. The question what you asked is very correct. No, you can take your base from the base policy can be your corporate insurance, or the base plan can be your some other company insurance. Even then also you can take top up.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yes, so I think we'll move on to portability. We are done, or I think we have to just quickly.
So and again, see, there is an advantage of having this super top up and the base plan with the same company, because if it is the same company, the super top up also can be cashless. If your base is from a different company, then as a company, as a insurance company, Max Bupa doesn't know whether you have exhausted that base coverage.
So then the onus is on you to prove.
The onus is on the onus is on the the party to prove okay he exhausted the coverage.
Okay,
so if it both are with the same company.
So one can take both the plans with the one company.
Even
if his age is more than 40 years.
Up to 65 they can take.
Okay.
The super top up will allow only till 65.
So one more doubt.
As you said, instead of taking a 1 crore ka base plan, somebody can take a 10 lakh rupee ka base plan or 5 lakh rupee ka base plan, and they can go for a super top up. It's a good option.
Yes. Thank you.
But you guys should be in a position to understand. You should be in a position to compromise on certain things. Please understand, it is a 2 different plan. It is a combination plan. So don't expect the in a normal comprehensive plan mein the similar kind of experience you will get in a super top up. So see, it is something like direct flight and the connecting flight. Hope you are able to you are getting what I am trying to say. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. If there are, is there any question? No, Chatika. We'll move on. So I think
portability was there, so maybe we can take that up.
See the portability. I'll tell you now. As I said, no. Some 10 years back, let me quote this example and say it is not offending any company. I was working for ICICI Prudential for around 10 years. We had a plan by name Health Saver. Okay. It is basically a health plan. At that time, that was the best in the industry. A lot of benefits we had. Now in 2020, if I compare that plan with the current plan, I mean I can't even imagine that that plan will not cover even 60-70% of today's the modern treatment. The only point, the limited point, my submission, this particular sector, this health insurance is keep on, it's evolving. So day by day, a lot of new things are coming into the picture. So If you are stick to some old version plan, or the latest treatment technologies are not included or covered, you have the option to move to the new generation plan without losing your continuity benefit. Without it will not be considered as a fresh plan. You don't have to have your initial waiting period. Your specific waiting period will be waived off. Even your pre-existing waiting period to the extent of the base plan, that also will be waived off, and you will get a day one coverage. So those are the beauty, and all the new type of treatments, all those things will be covered in that. But please understand, portability doesn't mean that whatever be the plan you have with your previous company, insurance companies, they will accept as it is. Definitely not. There also underwriting will come into the picture, and your PED conditions, if it is a one bypass surgery, or if there is a stent in the heart, or there is a brain surgery, or there is a spine surgery where neuro issues were involved, those kind of things insurance companies will not allow to port. Basically, when you are porting, it is the absolute discretion of the porting company whether to accept it or not. So when I am saying portability, it is not that kind of whatever be the case which we can port, definitely not. But companies are very considerate, and it is a cutthroat competition happening in the market. So these kind of cases, only the good advisor, he will come into the picture. Anybody can go and submit online, but if any advisor, the knowledgeable person, they will tell you whether this case can be ported, whether in this case will get accepted. If it is getting accepted, what is the coverage we can choose? All the things he will get you the right advice. So portability is a good option. Many companies these days, they are reducing the benefit, in fact, or they are not covering most of the latest treatment technologies. That you can identify which company is good now. Then you have the option to port, so that you will get the continuity benefit. It is something like in the mobile number portability.
So when one should initiate this portability? It is just before the expiry of the policy, or
exactly. During the renewal of your current policy only, we can initiate the portability. See,
if I'm not wrong, it's about 45 days. I think.
Expired policy we cannot port. So at least now, earlier the rule was, as Ram was saying, we can start initiating this particular process before 45 days. But minimum 2 to 3 days in advance, before the expiry of the policy, you should submit the portability form, new application form, with your previous company ka application form. Previous company ka policy document. All those are the documents which you need to submit to the the new company if you wanted to port the policy.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Yes, Sinu. So we have. Do you want to have a quick? I think this is important because optional benefits, it can go on and on. I think we will
benefit, as I said, there is a lot of optional benefit these days. You can add a critical care. One point you should understand here. There is something called a standalone critical care, and this critical care is there with the most of the life insurance company term plans basically. So when you are buying a term plan, you will come to know they will ask you, do you require a personal accident plan? Do you require a critical illness? All the things they will ask you. Please understand, these plans are coming with a particular term. If your term plan is still at the age of 60 years, 65 years, or 70 years, this critical illness plan will cover you only till at the age of 65. After that, even if you are getting a critical illness, these plans will not pay the money. Whereas if you are buying a standalone health insurance, a company ka critical illness, even at the age of 60, 70, 80, 90, if you are getting a critical illness, the insurance companies, they will pay that money. At the age of 80, 85, if you are getting an accident, if you are dying, or if you are getting into paralyzed, or if you are getting into a permanent disability, insurance companies, these standalone companies will pay the money. So this is what one difference. Of course, critical illness at the age of 75, premium will be a bomb. I am telling you that openly. But however, you have that option. Even at the age of 75, 80 also, if you get a heart attack, you will get that 1 year or 50 lakh as a cash other than your indemnity benefit. This is an optional benefit in the sense it is a, on diagnosis, they will pay you lump sum money. However, your indemnity plan will take care of all hospitalization expenses. Suppose like you want to undergo angioplasty or you want to undergo a bypass or open heart surgery, you have a indemnity health insurance plan. That indemnity health insurance plan will take care of all hospitalization expenses. Other than that, since you are diagnosed with a critical illness, you will get a bulk money in your hand. So to some extent it is a good, but again the premium for a after a certain age, the premiums are so much on the higher side. So that again, depending upon your requirement or like your heredity, you can decide on that.
Sure. So we'll cover the premium payment thing, and I think.
Yeah. So the premium payment, there is nothing as such. There are two funda basically. One is like some insurance companies like they will increase the premium every year. Some companies like they will increase the premium in a band wise. Basically 40 to 44 one band, 45 to 49 one band, 50 to 54 one band in that way. So one thing to be noted, the companies which are increasing yearly, there will be any minimal increment. So you will not feel so much jump in the year on year in the premium. But where the slab change happens, especially till 36 to 40 and all, hardly any increment. The moment when you cross this 45 to 46, 50 to 51, 55 to 56, the kind of jump will be 30%, 50%, 70% kind of jump, it will be. So probably that will create a hole in the pocket, or you feel that is on the higher side. So to me, frankly ask me, you take next 20 year ka premium and compare which one is coming lower side and take that. And again, as I said, premium is the not the only one criteria which we need to think at the time of buying a health insurance. I think my battery is so much down. Nice.
Sure. In fact, I think we are almost done. I don't know if there are any questions. Of course.
Yes, any query, then let us answer. Now yes. I think we have covered almost the things.
Yes.
Are you sharing this PPT with us?
No, it is there with the. Yes. It is there with the Ram. Yeah. You may think. You
sure,
may.
I will.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
any other questions?
Let me please know.
Yes. Any questions, please? I think people can ask. I think people have been asking questions, and in between the session, and we are actually almost past 1 hour. So I know it has been quite a long session. So
anyway, thank you. Even I never thought it is extended like this. Thank you so much for your continuous attention and patient hearing. I personally feel like I have given some value addition to your knowledge level about the health insurance. I am not pretty sure.
You certainly have. I think, and of course, I think the participants have been very patient to be with us through this session. So, any one more opportunity. If anybody have any questions, I think you can ask. Otherwise, I think more or less.
Otherwise, Ram, if anything is there, I think they have your mail ID and all other things.
Yes.
Let them write to you, and you forward the query to me. I am happy to answer all those.
Sure. I think so. What will as a practice, what we do is that after each webinar we do send a thank you mail wherein our coordinates and everything is mentioned among the other services that we provide. So I think we'll be happy to answer queries even after the session. It is not that, of course, this is only a introductory session, and for a detailed understanding of requirements for each one of you, I think it makes sense to connect one-on-one and then discuss in detail. Yeah. So,
thank you.
Achha, one thing, Sinu, I think, sorry, I missed out one. Arogya Sanjeevani Health, one question was there.
Yeah.
If you can just...
See, I'll tell you, this IRDA recently they came out with one standard product basically.
Yes.
There is no difference between the product features of Maxima or ICICI Lombard or from Tata AIG or from Bajaj Allianz. Everybody has the same plan, same features.
Okay.
And it is basically a regulatory mandate. But you know the difference. There is a difference in the pricing. Pricing is not same.
Okay.
Only features are same.
Okay.
And you know only thing is, you should understand, there is a plan with the co-payment. If you ask me, there are better plans available. It is a me too plan, just like, okay, it's a tick mark product in the sense,
Okay.
it is a regulatory requirement. So like, all insurance companies, they have started that plan.
Okay.
So for the same price what you are paying for that kind of plan, there are better plan available in the market.
Okay.
Say for example, there is a co-payment in Arogya Sanjeevani, compulsory co-payment. For the same premium, you will get a plan without a co-payment. Then why to buy a plan, with the co-payment, when there is a plan without a co-payment is available in the market?
Obviously. Yes. So I think it is more of a, like you said, a tick mark exercise which the industry is having to do on the government's, I think, move about the health industry.
So anyway, thank you so much, Ram. I mean, like, for your patiently listening and hearing, and like, if anything, later stage also, I am very happy to answer.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for your detailed presentation, and thanks
Thank you,
to
thank
all the
you.
participants.
Thank you
for
all.
joining
Thank
us
you.
today, and we look forward to you in the next webinar.
Thank you, Sinu. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you.